So maybe you've been collecting Pokemon cards for years or decades, or maybe you're new to it and it's only been a few weeks or a few months, and you are just absolutely exhausted with the lengths that you have to go to try and get your hands on some English cards. I mean, it's crazy. From my own experiences, it means booking a day off work, going and queuing outside of a Sainsbury's at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday, and hoping that they still have some left by the time you get to the counter. I mean, it's mental. There's a massive boom right now in Pokemon. It's been going on for years. I mean, I feel like I've experienced it for the since Evolutions came out, but maybe it's been really ramped up in the last couple years. You got Logan Paul and this whole, everything going on there. There's a big hype. All the sneaker bros are moving over to Pokemon cards. There's scalping. There's this artificial demand going on right now. A lot of people just sitting on product hoping that it's going to accrue in value and stuff. People are getting way sucked into this hobby now. And it's a bubble that probably will collapse at some point. But that's not what this video is about. It's not about the Pokemon bubble. This video is about what I believe people should be looking to do right now with Pokemon collecting, which is checking out alternative languages. Looking into Japanese cards is amazing, but that still has some cons as well. And I'm also looking at Korean and Chinese Pokemon cards. And in this video, I want to throw up some pros, some cons of all of these things and just have a little bit of a chat. But I also want to see you comment and let me know, what languages are you collecting in? Do you exclusively stick to English, or do you have a broad range that you'll collect from? What sets are you chasing from? Why do you collect in only one language or multiple languages? And how are you using those cards? Are you collecting because you're trying to make a profit? Are you collecting because you love the cards and you're trying to complete a set and you don't care what language it's in, etc.? Let me know. Maybe you're even playing the TCG, which is unheard of. So yeah, let me know in the comment section. Obviously, subscribe and like the channel and all that good stuff as well if you enjoy the content. But a couple of reasons why I think collecting in English right now is just not as good as it could be or should be, maybe. And you can look at these as pros or cons, but you have a more expensive product. It's really hard to get a hold of. And then when you do get a hold of it, a lot of the pull rates and the hit rates can actually be lower than in, say, Japanese or in Korean, Chinese, the alternative languages, as I'll call them. So you can look at this as a pro or a con. Some people will say, well, if the product is more expensive baseline and the hit rates are lower, then when you do hit, the cards are worth a lot more because they're harder to get a hold of. Okay, fair enough. So if you are just looking to sell cards, then okay, maybe everything's good there. But if you are genuinely looking to collect the cards because you love the art and whatnot, then it is quite difficult right now. I had to give up on collecting 151 personally because packs started to go from £4 a pack or so to over £15 a pack, and at this point it's kind of just ridiculous. So I had to give up on that set in English, but now I'm looking at just collecting it in Chinese, and there's a couple of reasons why specifically Chinese that I'll get into momentarily. But let's then talk about some of the pros of collecting in one of the Asian languages. So I think the biggest thing here is just the fact that it's cheaper. You can get a lot more product for a lot less money, sometimes a third, a quarter of the price of what you would pay in English. Japanese generally is still more expensive than Korean and Chinese, and there's a couple of reasons for that we'll get into. But yeah, generally, if you're just looking to collect a set, then I think jumping into an alternative language is a really good idea. If you are looking for resale value, I still don't think it's a terrible idea because the print quality has improved. We have official Chinese card print happening in Japan at Japanese card printing facilities, which we know are the best in the world. So you're actually getting an improved print quality by collecting in Japanese or even Chinese. I'm not too sure on Korean. I think Korean might be lower quality, but still not terrible. Again, depends on what you're collecting for. But because you're getting this good print quality, we're getting an improving of the standard of the cards there for Chinese and stuff. China also a massive market, right? There's over 9 billion people in China or something like that. So if cards are getting popular, if Chinese cards are getting popular, then there's a massive market there that will be interested or could has the potential of interest. So that can be really awesome, and that might be a good reason to collect specifically in, say, Chinese. So you're getting cheaper product, you're getting potentially a better print quality depending on what language you're buying in, and then there's this emerging market. And I think there's this real big push right now for Chinese cards and Chinese exclusives. We know that China as a country can be quite dominant in a marketplace, so they can have their list of demands and generally get them. So as I've mentioned, Chinese cards are getting printed in Japan, so you know that they are now more trustworthy. And how do you prove that you're getting cards that aren't ripoffs, that aren't fakes, that they're actual good product? Well, now, and maybe I can edit in an image here, but if not, just look for yourself, that's fine. Now, in the bottom left-hand corner of a Pokemon card that's printed in Chinese, there is a little Pokemon stamp that you can see if you wiggle the card around that tells you, hey, this is definitely legit. So that gives some legitimacy to Chinese cards. Some people might not know about that yet, and as that's going to build and grow, and as China has a chance to have more and more sets that are released under these conditions and these standards, then that market should grow as well. Maybe on some of the older Chinese sets, they're less valuable and less meaningful, but I don't think that'll last forever. Another big one. I mean, guys, I'm just going to show you right now. Look at this absolute beauty. Okay, this is a Chinese 151 exclusive Pikachu. I mean, look at how much Pikachu you get per square inch of card, right? That's a metric. It's Pikachu per square inch. PPSI, okay? That's what's going on here. It's a beautiful card and it's shooting up in value, right? It's skyrocketing in value here. I checked a few days ago. It was like 300 pounds sold, and I mean, just look at it going up and up and up. Okay, I mean, this is over the last few months, but it's crazy, and it's a Chinese exclusive, so you're not even going to get it in Japanese. You're not going to get it anywhere else. So this is going to be a very high in demand card. I would think as time goes on. So I know I want it. So it's worth considering other languages because you can get some really awesome exclusives that you can't get in English. That's definitely a consideration. And China, as I said, gets a lot of unique promos, so that's really great. Um, what else? So you also can get actually earlier releases of product, or if you're late to the party, there's actually an advantage of collecting in a different language. So I'll explain this one a little bit. So Japan gets the product the earliest. They get the newest sets, the freshest, hottest cards ahead of English, ahead of everybody else. If you want the newest product, like Nihil Zero right now, that's the hot commodity in Japan. You can get that only in Japan. So you can already start collecting the newest cards. But then if you're late to the party and actually there's this really cool set that you liked, but you only just started collecting and that set released in English like a year ago or something, well, that's okay. Because generally Chinese and Korean are a little bit further behind. So you actually have chance to see what really pops off, what's really cool, some styles that you really like, and then go and collect them actually in Chinese and Korean where they're going to be cheaper. Again, that circles back around to cheaper and cost, but that's a big one here when you are into an expensive collecting hobby. So I think that's really cool for me right now. I keep going on about 151. I'm sorry, but like I can go and complete that in Korean and Chinese, and there are the exclusives that I can be looking to grab as well, which is really awesome. So you have those kinds of things going on. You also have in Chinese, you have like the gem sets, like the gem 2, gem 3, etc. So like gem 2, for example, is all evolutions. So it's a set that's just full of just evolutions. I guess you also technically have that with like prismatic evolutions. I think that's all heavily evolutions as well. So you've got these options here. Prismatic evolutions, obviously, it is English, but you have terrestrial festival, or I think something along those lines. It's the Korean alternative and the Japanese alternative. So yeah, you have those options of like, you know, these cool kind of unique sets and things that can happen as well. Obviously Terrestrial Festival and Attic are not, but the gems, the Gem 2, the Gem 3, etc., can be quite unique, so that's cool as well. You also have better guarantees and better pull rates when you're collecting in, say, Japanese, because I don't know if it's, and you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong here, but I don't know if it's about like gambling laws and that sort of thing. Obviously, collecting trading cards can be a bit gambly, to be honest, and it does definitely probably drive the same people that like gambling also like trading cards, because there's that thrill of the hit. But in Japan, you need more guaranteed known hit rates. So every box that you're going to open, there's going to be, let's say, like 3 ARs, 1 SR, and a 40% chance of an SAR, etc. You know, that sort of thing. Like Mega Dream, for example, you have the guaranteed SR item, etc. So you know what you're more likely to be getting in terms of odds, which means collecting feels more fair. It feels more predictable. It feels like you're not going to be disappointed if you go and spend a paycheck on some cards. I mean, hopefully not a full paycheck, especially if you're getting paid monthly. But yeah, hey, you know what? I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. I kind of am, actually. But whatever. So those are some adventures there with the high pull rates, the more guaranteed hit rates. I don't know if you guys have been tracking Ascended Heroes, but from what I've seen in English, like Ascended Heroes, terrible pull rates. Then go open Mega Dream in Japanese, and it's incredible pull rates. Like every pack feels like there's an EX or a hit. In fact, there might even be a guaranteed EX in every pack. But the point being that when you're collecting the alternative languages, you might get some better pull rates depending on the language than you might be getting in English, which, you know, there's pros and cons to that as well. So I feel like I've spoken about a lot of things there. The last couple of things I wanted to say is just like, there is the lower resale value of collecting in an alternate language, but there's still some value and they still accrue in value. But also, they're just the same art. So you can still be collecting if you just really love the art. You have the split sets. So I mentioned about Japan getting product first, but not only that, Japan gets a couple of sets, right? And then we'll combine those into just one set that will release in English. So you can look at this as a pro or a con. You are trying to collect a specific set. If you get it in Japanese, then there's a good chance that you can just focus your efforts on that one set. Whereas if you collect in English, it's going to be a little bit more muddled up with some other, there's going to be some impurities in there potentially, depending on what you're looking for. So you can look at that as a pro or a con. It just depends how you're going to look at that one there. But a big thing here is just like an example of value. So something that I just wanted to show you here is the last thing. So I have here a card from Prismatic Evolutions. I believe it is Prismatic Evolutions. Yeah. This is like just, I mean, come on. I don't even need to talk about it. It's just beautiful, beautiful card here. The Umbreon EX. And this is worth like $1,000 in English, right? Which is a crazy amount of money. But, and that will keep going up, I am sure, right? I guess it's gone down, but I imagine it'll keep going up. Whereas if you want to collect this card in Japanese, so same exact card and art and everything, just in Japanese, it's a third of the price. So this is the level that we're kind of talking at here. These are the things that you can be considering when you're looking at the collecting. And yeah, I just think that these are some good ideas, some good suggestions on why you might want to consider a different language than just English. But as I say, let me know in the comments what you think, how you're collecting, why you're collecting, and what you think on, the value of collecting in different languages, and what you're personally doing. Thank you very much. Appreciate you watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Also, to give a shout out, guys, myself, my friend Jordan and Paul, we're all big collectors. We're streaming over on Whatnot quite regularly every week. We get in a lot of product that is generally, we do English, but generally we feel like we get better deals for you guys if we sell Japanese, Korean, and Chinese. We are obviously like running a bit of a business, so we are profiting a bit, but it's marginal, and it's mainly just to kind of like sustain having a few beers together, being able to afford getting to the pub, have a few drinks, and just like chat about Pokemon on stream with you guys, have a good time. I'm a full-time Twitch streamer, so I'm all about building a community. We're all about just building a great community. So come be a part of it. Buy things if you want. You really don't have to. Just come chill and chat. That is lovely. We love that. And we want to make it a really cool place for you guys to just come, chill, hang, and express your interest in Pokemon. So check out the links down below. You can check out Walker Armoury, and you can check out whatnot there if you're interested. But thank you so much for watching. See you again.